That's right, we didn't get canceled. That means we're back for another season of Adobe Office Hours with Andrew Hockrattle and Nick Longo with some nice new funky music. Hi everybody, welcome back
Happy
to
New Year, everybody.
Your favorite dumpster fire here. It's Office Hours.
Hey, look at all those look at the friendly faces showing up there. What's up,
Hi
guys?
friends. Hello,
Dude,
hello.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Nice to see you. Chat, let us know where you are watching from. Let us know how things are going where you are. I am watching from near a fire. And Nick, where are you watching from?
I am watching near a fire as well. Luckily, we're both safe, but
both safe.
With window distance, I can see it out the window. That's
yes,
pretty
I
crazy.
too can see one out my window. So chat, if we buffer, if we go away, if anything,
It's the power.
It's the power. The power is across the street. For me, is out. So hopefully, cross your fingers that we have it for the next hour. All right, let's hop in. Today, we're talking about a new year and a new you. Nick,
You knew we'd do that. Right?
we have to. I don't think there's any other thing that we can do during the first episode of the show.
No.
We're going to be talking about a bunch of different kind of parts of new you today. So, Nick, what are kind of the areas that we're going to look at?
Everything, you name it.
It's
Everything throughout your day, what you could do to help you kind of shave some time off of your schedule, do things faster, and just attack your process with a little bit more energy.
Yes, a little more gusta.
little
And
bit
yes,
more
somebody said yesterday Andrew was freezing and today fire. That's how it works.
Yeah,
Welcome to California.
Welcome to Office Hours and Los Angeles.
All right, yes. So we do have a lot of stuff to cover today. We are going to do some hands-on demos. We're going to show you a whole bunch of things. We're going to talk a lot. So there'll be maybe a little bit of a podcasty moment to this episode. But most importantly, chat, if you've noticed down below here, early access. Office Hours loves to give you early access to things. We love to give you sneak peeks into super secrets. And this is so secret that we can't tell you what it is.
We got the hookup, though.
We got the hookup for you. If you want to be a part of this super secret activation to learn something new coming to a Photoshop, you can go right down there, adobe.ly/OHPS. That's Office Hours Photoshop, OHPS. And you can apply to be a part of this new program. So we'll get your feedback, see what you have to say about things, and then hopefully make some changes, make some augments, and put your voices into what's new. So of course, you know, when that happens right here on Office Hours, we're going to give you the first look. Of course, you know what?
That would be New Year, new opportunity.
New opportunities. And chat, I'm gonna pull some strings and see if we can give you a little secret preview of that before it happens. It might not happen, but I do guarantee that when it does happen, we'll
be spending a lot of time on
top 3 to show you. Maybe not first, but top 3. All right. I can't make big promises.
We can't make that promise.
That's very Office Hours.
Top 3?
You'll hear it here 5th.
3rd.
Welcome to Office Hours. All right, so today we do have presentation. It's been a while since we've done a little presentation kind of talk.
Yeah.
We're going to go through, we are going to give you some slides. If you want to join our Discord, I'll upload this to the Discord at the end. Discord.gg/ACC is where you can do that. But we're going to talk about new workflows. We're going to talk about the new year and the new you. And Nick, here we go, scene transition into the new workflows.
Where was this beautiful presentation?
Wow, we're not even going to reveal that yet, Nick. We're gonna give some secrets, and then we're gonna blow their minds. Chat, here's a question for you. Do you want to be on screen, chat? You can vote. You can vote if you can be on screen. I can probably put you like somewhere in a corner somewhere.
Yeah, it looks nice and fresh. Maybe. Oh, good little note to take for the new year. Create a little area for that in the slides.
Yeah, chat, let me know if you want to be on the screen. I can add you there. If you're content just chatting in your chat, then that's fine as well. Let us know. And YouTube chat, I am looking at you as well. Hi, I love planes. Hi, I love planes. I too love planes. All right, let's hop in. And Nick, we're talking about new workflows. Give us the intro. Give us the overview. Let's get started.
Yeah, we wanted to give you guys some tips on how to speed up the way you work in so many different ways. But it's not just those things that are hands-on, maybe at your desk or behind the computer. It's a lot of other little things, right? And it's kind of like how you set up your day, your week, your month. And I think overall, a lot of these things could truly help you do that. So first question I got for you, Andrew. Are you making any design business New Year's resolutions?
No.
No.
I always have my birthday project that I work on every year. I like gift myself a project.
Good.
So it happens in April. So I have to start on it about now to start working on different ideas and stuff. This year, I'm thinking about doing a cookbook. I also am thinking about doing a short film. So there's a lot of like ideas that are floating around that I need to start nailing down.
I like
that. Kind of getting in my personal creative workflow, which is always a great way to start the year.
It's like you're using the New Year's resolution time to come up with these great ideas.
Exactly. Yes.
Very cool.
What about you, Nick? Any goals?
Only thing I'm trying to do is to be less letting things run on autopilot.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like being a little more intentional with the scheduling and I don't know. I've never been the best scheduler. Maybe a few of you out there can kind of understand what I'm talking about. And I was just going with the flow a lot of the time. And then I realized if I could be a little bit more on top of that, I think my year will be so much more smooth.
Yes.
So,
that's so funny because I'm like on the opposite side to where I'm like, I went so hard and I'm so tired that I want to like chill a little bit this year, I think.
Yeah.
So there we go. So we're going to give you both sides of this. So let's talk about getting into your workflow, some things you can incorporate to be more efficient, to be a little more creative, and to just be better in your everyday life and in your creative endeavors. Nick, first thing, we're going to go back and forth between Nick's and mine and give you both of our perspectives, which we are in different creative places, it sounds like, which is kind of cool. So Nick, we'll have you kick it off with your focus boosting.
Yeah, so this first one is a unique one that I'd heard of so many times and always thought, oh yeah, let's see if it works. And I used it in my class. It's called the Pomodoro method.
That sounds delicious.
And what this does is, yeah, I know, it's just right there. It was like you had me on Pomodoro.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, okay, I make that all the time. How is that a focus boosting hack?
Right.
I use it in the
can I have
kitchen.
2 Pomodoros, please, on the rocks?
Exactly. So this whole idea is what you want to do is you break work into 25-minute sprints. And by sprints, I really mean focused, deliberate work on one solid project or task. No notifications, no phone, no YouTube in the background, maybe office hours.
Yes.
But the idea here is you do it leading up to the fact that you're going to have a 5-minute break after that. And what it could do is it becomes more of a contest, right? It becomes more of a little bit of a task and a challenge, which I love. And so I started teaching this in classroom settings, and my students kind of don't even know it, but I will give them these 25-minute sprints, and they're so focused, they're so on board with it, and I see the results. If you didn't give them that with these like limitations, I think you're so open to any kind of disruption or you might just stand up and walk away for a second or do whatever. This focused 25-minute thing is fantastic. And if you think about it, it fits a 30-minute block. So you could do 2 of these an hour and have those 2 5-minute breaks that you walk away, get away from the screen, come back, and you're so challenged. Have you ever tried this at all?
I have. I think that we've actually done a live stream because the live streams are 30 minutes on some of them. We have done Pomodoro live streams where it's like, here are the goals we're trying to do. Here's what we're going to finish. Let's go. And so maybe we'll incorporate this more into some live streams. Maybe we'll do an office hours Pomodoro guided. Yeah. Yes. Yes. A Pomodoro. We'll do one of those maybe as an episode. That could be a fun episode where it's just like, we both have things to do. We're all going to work on something together. And by the end, here's what we did. And Nick, there's some resources here. What resources can people use to implement this?
There's an app called Be Focused. It's a free app. I believe I know it's on iOS, and I believe it should be on Google as well. And there's also Focus Keeper. And these are basically being used with the Pomodoro thing. They have timers. The other thing you could do is just set your own timer, which is great. There's a slide we have later down that we're going to talk a little bit more about timers and something I didn't even know your phone could do. I can't wait to bring that up.
Ooh.
But customize. Oh, this was it. I'm sorry. This was it right here. We get to talk about it. Customizing your timer for the creative tasks like brainstorming, editing, or whatever. One thing I didn't know you could do is you can say set, the S word for your iPhone or the Amazon word, whatever. You could say set timer for brainstorming. And then you can also say set timer for, you can have multiple running at the same time. And what's great about it is it keeps those in line. And when one goes off, it will say which one that is for. So you can have multiple timers on a lot of your smartphones going at the same time, which I really, really love.
That's really cool. So it's just here in the timer app. Let me see if I can get a little headshot here. So it's just here in the little timer app. You can set it for like brainstorm right there. And then you can start it, and then you can kind of like keep doing it. And look, they even stay here so that you can have all of your different timers lined up and kind of make a nice little day of it.
Right above the one that says nap.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the only one that I have.
I have
my
a
power
million
nap
timers
in the
random
middle of the
times
day.
for all the naps that I take.
And but it's a good little trick.
Yes. So since we're back here, chat, and we just wrapped up our first slide, I do want to mention again, adobe.ly/OHPS, we're giving you the inside scoop to a new thing coming to Photoshop. You want to be a part. It is a little bit of a survey, but we need to make sure that you are the people that we want to talk to about what's coming. So make sure, click down there, fill out that survey. There's nowhere for you to like let us know that Office Hours sent you, but they'll know. If you get in and you're like meeting with somebody, be like, yeah, I'm so glad I watched Office Hours to get the exclusive look into this new thing.
They always tell us the best things first.
It's true. We try.
Maybe that's how then we'll be able to announce this first.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
Help us help you.
Yes. I do know when it's happening, and I don't know if we will be, but we'll be. I'm telling you, first 3 to 5. All right, so let's hop back in here and talk about tracking stats to analyze productivity patterns and tweak your workflow. Do you do this, Nick?
I started doing that, believe it or not. I keep a journal now, a little notebook in either the place here on my desk. I have one up like bedside because I do that now at night, where I kind of make sure I am focusing on the things first thing in the morning that I know I have to do. So trying to do that as well. And I'm feeling that pattern is great because now I'm not waking up with this instant stress of what is first on my list. I already know because it's right there.
Yep.
So I am trying that out. It's a tough one. I'm not the best again. So I'll be the guinea pig. I'll give it a try.
Yep. And chat, if you've never used Clockify, it's a really great app and a really great plugin that basically it helps to track hours for things. And you can set all the projects that you're working on for clients or for whatever. And then it embeds into your browser. So when you open up your email, it puts in a little Clockify link or a little like icon next to it. And you click the icon and it will like ask which client it's for and then start the timer. And so it's really great to be able to like time and measure everything and see what you're spending your time on.
Wow. Have you seen any surprise? Like, I'd be surprised. I bet there's huge chunks you wouldn't even think about that are taking up a big part of your day.
I don't use it unless I'm like actively on a client, Nick. I am, of the things we're talking about today, I am like, this is a do as we say, not as we do, because I am very bad at all of these. But I want to like aspire to be better at all of these. And I do think that they are like good things that work. But I'm pretty rough on a lot of these as well.
Well, don't you think too, like, phone calls and emails, I think, are the two things that would creep up.
Oh my gosh,
if you were doing this for a particular client or
just
job.
Little Slack messages here and there. Yep.
Oh, like, I mean, they could, and that's where you can start thinking, hey, now I can maybe add a little bit more to budgets or whatever, because I've realized I'm not billing for a lot of that stuff.
Yep.
You know?
Oh yeah.
So and it can help you even get to a bigger kind of goal, whatever, down the road because of this.
Yes. And if we have one goal here on Office Hours, it's to make you more money. It really is. We want to get you.
That's the underlying message of everything.
Yeah. Office Hours, but the S has a little $sign through it. That's okay.
I love it.
So to me,
What's
here
next?
is a great process hack. And I like to make my bad ideas first. I know that that's crazy to think about, but when I'm working in the process, a lot of times I'll have the ideas that come to my mind that are like, I know are not good ideas. I know are not going to go anywhere. And chat, if you've seen me do branding, if you've tuned into a brand slam ever, you see that I put the bad ideas out first. And I think that I have trained myself to not get stuck there, but to use that as an opportunity to explore, because sometimes those are the best ideas. Sometimes your really bad ideas have all the elements that you need, but they just need to get rearranged, right? So to me, it's easier to remix something than to like come up with something from scratch. So I try to get all of the ingredients out on the table, and I'm just like making the wrong dish every time, but I have the right ingredients, right? And then I'm kind of taking and changing pieces and processes. And I liked when I used that tool. And I like when this shape came together and this color over here, and start to piece those together.
That's a great idea. Dude.
I think
I love this one.
Oh, yes. I think that editing is easier than designing. And so I have always been someone that likes using public domain images, that likes using like archival footage, and like likes using things that are already existing to like bring a new life to them and inject a new vision and a direction. And so doing that for myself and throwing out pieces that then I can remix and edit is way easier for me than trying to like go straight through.
I love that.
And so what I like to do, and I know this is controversial, chat, you've told me a million times, I like to set all of my programs to light mode and to set my artboard to white. And that way, when I'm working in Illustrator, I have so much space to just put everything. And I'll use different quadrants and just like draw a big circle that I can work in. And I'll kind of work top down to the bottom left and all over the place. Crazy on these artboards just to get ideas out there. And it allows me to kind of pull the pieces out that I think are interesting and kind of be like, all right, let's explore those. Okay, down over here, let's explore these things. Okay, that's interesting. And I kind of chase that and then I stop and then move somewhere else. So allow yourself to kind of just be chaotic, and it works for me. And so it might work for you.
I love that.
I think that that's usually the thing. And don't make logos like this. I was just looking for cool little graphics because Nick had some, and the takeaway is don't do this. No swoopies. No swoopies.
Was that your first idea?
No people. That was my first idea. And I said, you know what? No.
Hey, sometimes know when to stop, right?
Yes.
That's your next point.
Yes. And Elizabeth saying it's like the white void of infinite canvas. Yes.
Ooh,
and
see, we know that's a big difference on. I always have it as gray, and I keep my artboard that I'm working on. I know it frustrates the out of you when we're doing the brand board.
That's so funny. Because like knowing our styles, and Chad, if you watch Office Hours, Nick and I have very different creative styles, very different like ways of addressing creativity. And I think that that fits our workflows so well that when we talk about that there's no right or wrong way, we do it completely different. And it is so right for each of us the way that we do it. And we couldn't do it the other way.
No.
And so I love that, like, that's just such a real case use of like, everybody's different.
It's so weird that I'm still attached to needing the page tiling to be shown and everything else, the artboards outside of it, to be gray.
Yep.
I think I move things around. I think you're right. It's based on how you work. So I like to work on something in that white area. And when it's good, I might move it off to the side and start another one. Like, that's just the process.
Yep.
And I like yours too, because like you're seeing it as this infinite thing, and maybe doing it my way helps. Maybe it limits sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, because you're seeing this little trapped little area. But whatever it takes for yours. I love the point that you brought up, that getting the first idea out, like you said, might not be the most finessed version, but the elements of it could be great if edited differently.
Yep.
That's great.
If you've ever watched,
I don't do that.
Chef's Table? Is it called Chef's Table? Yeah, Chef's Table. There's a really great scene with Grant, who runs Alinea, which is like this really creative restaurant. They serve like sugar balloons that are filled with helium and like all this crazy ideas for food. And there's a scene where he's like talking with his other chefs about like coming with ideas for the menu. And it's like my favorite thing that I like take into my creative process is he's like, what if we like put a canvas on the wall and then we took all kinds of ingredients and like painted them onto the canvas, and then the people could like lick it or like scrape it off to like eat it. But like we can't do that, but like something with that vibe. And I love like that approach to creativity is like throw all the idea out there and know that like this is not a good idea. There's no way we can do this, but there's something in that is interesting that we can figure out how to do. And I just love like one sentence being like, here's this crazy idea. We can't do it, but like, let's figure out what we can.
What if you can call that something different? Because like, let's say you have your sketching and then you have your first work kind of digital, right? Transforming that. And you're trying to come up with a stage in between that is just that is literally the playground.
Yep.
Like, why not think of it that way? And here we are adding more time to your process. But I think a lot of us, I can use that for sure, because you guys see how we both work when we're doing it. I go right to like final piece, first second, right? Like to me. And so I need a little more of that buffer zone in between.
Yep, which I think is funny.
It's cool.
So Elizabeth is saying there are two things that I want to talk about. We'll answer your question, and then we might come back to the other comment. Do you ever fully abandon any of your first ideas?
Oh God, all the time.
Yes. I actually, okay, this is like my favorite thing. I don't know if we've ever gotten into enough of a long branding process where I've shown you this. So I work in like all my corners of different ideas, but I have like my top left corner usually. I siphon off into like a little circle, like I just draw a little circle, and that's the banish zone. And if an idea is like bad enough or I've hit the end of like exploring it, I'll drag it into the banish zone. And so I literally like the top left of all of my artboards are just ideas that are dead, that I'm like, there's nowhere else to go with this.
Like a virtual
that's
trash
good.
can.
Yep, little trash can on my.
That's a good idea.
Yes, Nick, do you ever fully abandon, or do you usually iterate?
Oh no, you can abandon it if it just isn't working. I think I know the difference between taking a break and coming back to it to fix it, or abandoning it altogether.
Yep.
And the abandoning happens a lot. It really does, because but that's good. We should be making. That time is to be as open and playful as you can with stuff. So you're going to make stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. If you have the time.
Yes. And speaking of having time and being healthy and having balance, there's no transition, but I really tried hard there. Here, we'll throw the intro and then come back. All right. And that's our transition into the next point. You guys like that funky little bass? Yeah, well, chat, what do we think about the new intro? I made a new intro, which I'm going to show you how I made if we have time today. I made it in Adobe Express.
And like hours of animation
10
skills,
minutes.
baby.
10 minutes in Adobe Express. Easy. So, Nick, let's talk about the health check. I actually think about this one all the time. I'd say that I think about this every day because it pops into my head. Yeah. Tell us about the 20-20-20 rule.
I love this. I found this right after finding another hack that's very similar to this, which it's this. I love these ones that are given names in a way because they're easy to remember. The 20-20-20 rule helps you reduce that eye strain. We sit in screens on desktops all day long, and that fatigue, I think, could truly be a killer when it comes to your productivity. So what you want to do, here's the golden rule. Every 20 minutes, look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. And it resets everything because we have been right? I do this more just because I want to see my work in a different light and take a break and come back. So I was almost doing this without knowing that it's a good thing for just your eye strain, but you want to do that. And imagine the difference that takes for 20 seconds. You're looking at something 20 feet away and your eyes are completely reset from your screen.
Yep.
So giving that a try is fantastic. You can also pair it up with a few things. There's eye care, which is a 20-20-20 or built-in reminder kind of thing. So it allows you to do this thing. It will give you a reminder. But another great bonus, and I see a lot of people talking about this, and I've switched over to them as well, is by using the blue light blocking glasses. You can, particularly at night is a great thing to do too. Mm-hmm. But if you have to use screens or you're watching television or anything, anywhere, I think it's 3 to 4 hours before bedtime, throwing those on will make a huge difference in your sleep as well. But it's just eye strain all day long too. So if you're using them, you're going to block out a lot of that blue stuff that's coming from your screens. Who cares if you got a little yellow tinge in there? It's like you're saving your eyes.
Yep.
And I think we need that more than just about anybody.
Yep. And Elizabeth is asking, how many people here wear glasses? Chat, who wears glasses? I've got these glasses. Ooh, that was a cool little rack focus.
Ooh, wait, hold on.
Ooh.
Hey,
extreme
see
close
how dirty
up.
they are. There you go. I love it.
Chat, let us know how many of you wear glasses because it is important. I also don't clean my glasses, and that is very.
I have one of these in every corner of. Go to Costco, get that 50 pack.
Wait, it gets better. This is the best. Here we go. Ready?
Oh yes, even better.
That's it. Sponsored.
Oh, look at that.
Eye care sponsored by Adobe Express. Right there, chat. This is filthy, by the way.
Can you wash that?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think you can.
Yeah. Lots of glasswares here in chat. We knew. We knew, chat. All right. So let's also talk about, yes, it's good to look at things far away, but it's also good to go to things far away. There we go. I got a transition. There we go. Try really hard for you, chat. So get out of here. You get out of here. This is something that I like to do, is that I like to leave. I like to get out of here. I like to say, I'm out. and just give things a minute, right? So if you get stuck, sometimes it's more important to go get inspired by something else. So within walking distance of my apartment, I'm about 45 seconds from a Starbucks. All right, I think we're back, chat.
Yes.
Like we
Sorry,
said,
guys.
yes, Nick and I are indeed in the fire zone, and I had a little power flicker. So, chat, cross your fingers, say a prayer, and hope that we can make it through the rest of the stream, because we'd really like to be here with you. All right, we're back.
There you go.
Thank you. Yes, we really want to stick with you. Power's not out. It just did a little boop, boop. So let's hope. Speaking of boop, boop, you can animate in Adobe Express using Animate All.
I love it. I was telling Andrew that was my answer to a bunch of friends that are using motion apps like crazy, and they're like, "What's your big tip?" I'm like, "Animate all button on Adobe Express."
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So we're back. Sorry, chat, about that. We're here. All right. Let's go ahead and hop back in.
You had a great point. You were going into something. We were talking about blue light glasses.
Yes. And we were talking about getting out of here, taking a walk.
There you go.
So if you get stuck in your creative process and you don't know what to do or where to go, very easily, very quickly, go for a walk. Get out. Try to get inspired by something else. So I like to go and get my mail. I'll go and grab coffee. I'll do like a once around the block. And sometimes just getting away from being like stuck and like pounding your head against the screen, you get a little more clarity. I think that this helps a lot. And always make sure that you have extra hobbies that you can explore and you can try new things and things that are outside of design and creativity that can allow you to just like have new ideas.
So refreshing, dude.
Every
part of this, I love it when I read this and I saw you write, go make a pastry. It's like, but
bake something.
Do something. But add one layer to all of this, and that's a community or other people too. Like going out for a walk and finding someone else that that works from home or whatever it might be, or a coworker. I love that idea. Hobbies and any other those interests, find them in a group, find them with other people. I think what's happened is, do you feel too like, I think my whole world revolves around what I do, and a lot of times we need to do other things. You know?
That's been like my last year, is trying to give a little more space to like doing other things. Like, Chad, if you follow me on Instagram, I haven't posted as much. I haven't been as much on social media because I'm like, I want to do like other stuff for a minute. And then when I'm ready, I'll come back and like get into the thick of it. But I don't know, it's been fun to like have a little bit of extra space.
I love it. I've been hearing from a lot of friends that are back into the office after some time from working at home. And after a good week of complaining, going, I can't believe I'm going back, they are in heaven, loving the community, the going back to working with other people. And I just love hearing those stories from people, because I think we missed that for a while,
Yep.
And we got comfortable with the way it is. So I love that nowadays. Don't forget this element. I think this is an important slide.
Yep. And Apruva and Dorina are saying 100% stuck. Go and do something else. Watch a movie, go for a walk. Don't think about it. Just give yourself some space and hopefully it comes back to you.
Oh, it's the best. Nothing like a walk with throw your headphones on and just do something.
Oh yeah.
Feels great.
Yeah. All right, Nick, let's talk about personal growth. And I actually, as I was reading through these, downloaded this app. So Nick, let's talk about it. What is it? I think it's great.
Yeah. So we're looking at habit tracking apps. It's a new year. You want some new workflow. These apps will help kind of like take the process and turn it into more like a game and keep the creatives like us accountable for everything we have to do. So Streaks is a really great one. It simplifies your daily goal tracking. There's another one called Habitica. I can't even say it. Habitica. Right?
Habitica. Right around the Pomodoro. One Pomodoro and one Habitica, please.
Yes, please. Yes. It feels like an order at Starbucks. Grande, please. Or Vente, I should say. But it turns the habit building stuff into like a unique kind of game vibe, which is really, really cool. And you get rewards and cool things like that, which is awesome. But I like this idea too, because what's the rule? If you do it for 3 weeks, a habit becomes a set in stone kind of thing.
Yes.
I think that's kind of the way. And think about the times that you really diligently got on board with something, and whatever tool will help you get there is obviously great, but it truly has to be you that you're making this new habit for. And I love that. I think Notion templates are a great thing as well. They have some great things in there, even in the free one, to use and kind of like get to your dashboard, and you can get a quick glance at what that is. I would love that to be, wouldn't you love, like, have you seen those things that are like they look like the old airport boards with the numbers and letters on those little tickers?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
And I think there's one that they sell that can do all that. It could have like your next meeting on it. It could do a lot of like what tasks you have still remaining. They're mega expensive, but I would like love to even just put that on a TV. Like that would be so cool to have in your office.
Yes.
And have those reminders, not on your actual screen, but on some other kind of framed thing.
Yeah.
I love that.
What I loved, I used to work in social media, and what I loved is we had a bunch of vertical screens like around the office that just had feeds, that just had like trackers, and it's kind of cool to be able to walk around and kind of just look at a glance at like what's going on. And so incorporating that into your everyday life, I think, is great. And Streaks is great because you also can share your streaks with other people. And so you can say like, hey, like, I'm trying to do this. Do you want to do this with me? Great. We're going running every week. We both have this streak now on here, and then we can check it off each day. It's kind of like Duolingo, to where you like have your streaks and that kind of stuff. So I like it. I am currently 420 days on my Duolingo streak, and like, I'm not the most disciplined person, but gamifying it.
That's a huge success, though.
It's great. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited about it. Yes.
I love that. Do you use like the health app, or do you do like share with friends on like all that kind of stuff?
No.
You got to get on board with that. That's the one thing that sometimes I'll go work out because I don't want to hear it from friends or family that I'm linked to.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then you could kind of throw a little shade when you get a notification when they do or something. So it goes back to this whole idea of the accountability, whatever it takes to get it, I'll use it. And if it's competitive or a game version of what I need to do, I'm in.
A game version. Yes. I play this game called Pikmin Bloom. It's like Pokemon Go, but it's like walking based rewards kind of thing. And I will go to Disneyland and I'll walk like 35,000 steps in a day. That's like 18 miles.
Did that last week.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I want the steps. I want my little like Pikmin to be running around and getting me little treats and stuff to, unlock some stupid hat that I can get in the game. And I'm like, yeah, I'll walk 18 miles for that. Why not? Like, and so having something gamified is great, which these tools that we're giving you, like Streaks and Habitica, are great, especially for your creative career, right? If you want to sketch 30 minutes a day, put it in there. Give yourself a little imaginary reward, or get something in like a silly little game for being more creative. It makes it way more fun.
Oh, putting in a little like carrot at the end of that is the best. Like if you do something, you're like, that's my time, I'll go and get a coffee, or rather than make one at home. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Those little treats. Is that the thing you mentioned? Is that a separate game, or is that on your phone?
It's on my phone, but it's a game.
Oh, cool.
It's like a game that you can play on your phone.
I just saw, CES is going on right now.
Oh, yes.
I wish I should have gone. I even just love one day there. But Atari is coming up with this new game console, handheld. It's going to have the entire library of all the old 2600 games.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm done. When that you'll never see me again.
Yep. We'll get you a little treadmill, and you can play your games and just walk on your treadmill. That's what it is.
Double time.
Yeah, double time. Speaking of double time, and speaking of walking on treadmills, segue. I don't know what the next slide is, but we're gonna sell it.
There'll be something.
Collab your way to fab. Like if you're working out and you're trying to lose the flab,
collab your way
more fab, you can collab that fab. So this is, for me, one of the most important things in a new year is just reconnecting with people to build your community. Nick actually mentioned this earlier, and I was like, Nick, there's a slide for this. But make sure you build your creative community right here on Adobe Office Hours. Or if you want to take it a little bit further, Nick, where could they go? Where's a place that you can connect with other creatives who also watch Office Hours?
Our Discord?
That's right, discord.gg/ACC. Our moderator will drop the link in the chat for you. But you can go there. You can ask for feedback. You can join us in the Office Hours channel, have a little conversation there. Really great community there, posting work sometimes, posting homework sometimes. But build your community to get feedback, to get inspiration. I have like a Slack group with some people. There's a lot of text threads. Every now and then, Nick will get a text that it's like, is this stupid? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, thank you. So share your work with other people, get feedback from different perspectives. It's really important. And this is not just for freelancers, also for in-house people, right? Because you can have a creative team, but like if you're all working on the same project, you all are in it too deep. And so having people external, if you can share projects that you're working on, is really important to just get that extra feedback and that extra perspective from other people. And Nick, we've both said this, and I think experience this. It's really easy to reach out. Like, reach out to people that you admire or that you like want their feedback. I feel like most creatives are pretty down to like give you feedback on something.
Everyone is. And it might not even be that. It might even just be that colleague, like you said, that you already know. And maybe you just haven't tapped into in a way where it's like, hey, why aren't we comparing or sharing some stuff when needed anytime? You know, I think you have the tools too, because you could do a text chain, you could do, you name it. Slack is a great one as well. I'm on one with a ton of people. And even just yesterday, someone put out a design saying, I'm just not there. I need some advice, whatever. It went on for about 2 hours, just the nonstop, like, hey, try this or do that, whatever. And to see the evolution of my friend's work get to this incredible place, it was almost like we were all working at some place, and here we were doing it just because we want to help. You know,
just for
I love that.
Yeah.
This is the best. This is the best because there's so much of we all know each other now. So now take advantage of that, right?
Yep,
it's great.
So I don't know. Hold on, let me look at your screen.
Oh,
these are actually fun. Okay. So, okay. So you surround yourself with a small group of people. Sometimes it can be one other person. Sometimes it's 3 other people, and sometimes it's a full group of 5. And so let's talk about the 1-3-5.
1-3-5. Did you?
I got it. Nick, take us through what the 1-3-5 rule is.
Oh, this is great. It's a simple, app-free, totally easy thing to do for a daily to-do list, helping you avoid the overwhelmed feeling, trying to stay focused and doing those things that are truly important or take priority. Here's what you do. Daily list each day. Number 1, big tasks. That's number 1, right? Your most important time-consuming tasks. Final load, like this is like doing that big logo thing or something huge. This is the big thing that's like on your day, right? Number 3 medium tasks is supporting tasks that help move that project forward. So that could be an email or correspondence or finding that perfect font for that logo that you're working on. That's like a medium task. And then 5 small tasks. These are those quick wins to keep the momentum going. And this could even just be that shortcut on Illustrator. This could be animate all on Adobe Express. Like boom, small task, done it, right? But this idea of big task, medium task, and small tasks, if you know what you're working on, I think that helps you prioritize and make you only concentrate on what you're doing because you know there's another pocket or another stage you're going to get to. And each one of these is a different frame of mind. That's what I love. Like when you know it's a small task, attack it immediately. We'll talk about that in another one, but I love that idea.
Yep, absolutely. You know? And hi, Jeff. Jeff is just joining us. Jeff Yass is here. Hi,
what's up, Jeff?
Nice to see you.
Welcome.
We also have our friend Winter came in here. Hi, Winter. Hi, Brian. Nice to see you all joining us. Thanks so much. And Happy New Year, Jose Lopez saying Happy New Year in our YouTube
What's
chat.
Up, guys?
I want to shout out our YouTube people real quick. All right. So Nick, we've talked about the 1-3-5 rule, but we missed the 2 and 4 rule.
Oh,
Nick,
it works perfectly.
Come on.
How did we?
I couldn't think of a better image, and so I just came up in the search, and it decided
Express has everything.
This slide has everything. So
it has dogs that are in the middle of color blocking. It has blue sparkles.
Yes, hard crop on the bottom there. He just kind of floated. 2 dogs and 4 cats. Yes, that is
everyone's
the 2-4 rule.
talking about it.
So the 2-4 rule is to make your to-do list, but also do a do-for list, right? Ooh. So, right? I made this up, Nick, and I'm really excited about it.
You made it up because you needed the 2
and
the 4?
Because I saw the 1-3-5, and I was like, it'd be really fun if I did a 2-4.
Guys, you're not hearing this info anywhere else.
This is
anywhere else.
Exclusive made-up content from
Andrew Hochrattle on Office
So
I'm honored to be here. Go.
Thank you. A to-do list and then a do-for list. And it helps you put a why behind the tasks. I think I do this and I just needed the format to actually communicate it. But to-do list, I always just throw out my ideas. I actually have a thing on my fridge that's a little to-do list that has little check marks that I can sweep back and forth. But put all your stuff down, make it brief, make it simple, make it a little to-do list. Then go back and make it into a do for list. And this is like, why am I doing this? I think that I have trouble with to-do lists because a lot of times I'm like, okay, I need to do all these things, but like I have other things to do, or it's not important, or like that, you know, I come with a reason to not do it. And so doing it for something helps. It helps me. And I always say to myself, it helps me set up my future self for success, right? I'm doing this for my future self. And you don't really see that in the future. You don't look back and you're like, thanks, past self. Sometimes you do, but I want to set up my future self for success. And I want to set up my future clients for success. I want to make sure that I'm doing this for something. And a lot of times if I have something on a to-do list that doesn't have a do for with it, it like isn't that important, right? It helps you to prioritize the things you need to do. Because if it's just a to-do, then you can do it at any point, right? But if there's something that has a do for, it's important to do that, to figure out why am I doing this and why it's important. It helps you prioritize. And yes, Elizabeth saying if we combine these systems, it is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rule.
It's or just let's call it 1 through 10 because we're gonna come up with something else.
Yes, exactly. Nick will take the odd numbers.
Miss out on that
numbers, and then we'll have an even and odd system rule.
And then there's one where they go backwards. It's the 7-3-1 rule.
Yes. And that's it.
I love it.
Fibonacci, modern day of Fibonacci's.
I love it.
Okay, so speaking of 2.
Back to 2, guys.
How about that 2-minute rule, Nick? Talk to us about the 2-minute rule.
Unlike Jersey Shore and GTL, this is called GTD.
Gym, tan, and
getting things done.
That's it.
There you go. This is inspired by a guy named David Allen who put this thing together. And what this helps do, this is my number one thing, procrastination. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
My nickname in school was Slack because literally I would slack. I would wait till the very last minute and then I would scrap things together and just like, it was the worst. And it just lives with me still to this day. So to help do it, one of these things you want to do is the 2-minute rule. And what that does is take the things that are less than 2 minutes and just do them immediately. If you are facing a day and a to-do list that is crazy, don't go to that one that's a 2-hour thing, right? Like we talked about in the early one. Go right to the thing that is you can immediately do, and that is replying to an email, renaming that file, or setting a calendar reminder, whatever it might be, or clean up your desk. I know I could do that here in 2 minutes and I'll feel a lot better. So it starts the momentum going and you're more likely to continue on past those 2 minutes.
Yep.
If it's a bigger task, you can start with just 2 minutes to kind of break into it and just tackle it somehow. That might be opening the file and writing the first few lines of that thing, or doing something that would be a little bit more time consuming. Maybe it's replying to an email that is going to take a little bit of nuance and stuff like that. And the bonus tip here is to use the rule to clear mental clutter before deep focus work. So another thing you could do too is if you have to battle that big thing that's going to be a good Pomodoro chunk, let's call it, do one of these first. And it gets the momentum going. It clears your mind. And it's a good little like break in between. If you have that 5-minute break sometimes, go do that one email. I know I was always religious on that part of doing the email reply immediately. And I've slowly turned that one off, and I do it in these chunks now because I think what was happening was, and I'm sure you understand this, if you do that too much, everyone knows, oh, Nick gets back to you in a heartbeat.
Yep.
And that could be a responsibility that could take you into like never getting work done.
Yep.
So there's a way you can swap that off and go like, just use it for that 2-minute thing, get it done, and you'll get some momentum going.
Yep, 100%. Speaking of momentum,
hey.
Yes, thank you, Nick. Speaking of momentum,
Looking out for you.
You got to ride the wave. This is
Hey.
something that I learned. I don't know who taught me this. Maybe my therapist. We were talking about just procrastinating, having a hard time getting things going. And I think that we sit down and we're like, it is work time. It's time for work. And then we have to force ourselves into doing something, right? If we're procrastinators like Nick and I are, you force yourself into something. And then there are times that you're watching TV or out for a walk. And then you're like, oh, I got this idea for this thing. Oh man, I kind of want to work on this thing, but I'm so relaxed right now. that like if you have any motivation towards something, stop what you're doing and go do that, right?
Yeah.
That like if you're watching Office Hours right now, please keep us on in the background. But then you like are like, oh, I have this idea for this project. Like pause us and go work on the project, right? Don't try to finish something and hope that your energy will be there later. If you have momentum, ride the wave. You got to go for it. And something that I heard on TikTok, which is probably not true, but I liked it, is that if you're having trouble like cleaning the house or getting things done around like doing laundry, is put your shoes on. And I know this is like the craziest thing, but it's worked, is put your shoes on and like get ready as if you're going to do something, like as if you're going out to like grab coffee or whatever, get ready and then start on whatever the task is. And somehow it like breaks my brain into thinking that I like am now ready to do things, right? That like, I'm like, oh, I know that I'm like putting my shoes on and like starting to get small tasks ready to go do a task and then just switch what the task is at the last minute. And it kind of tricks my brain into doing it, right? Instead of getting coffee, I like am still accomplishing the walk of getting coffee, but I'm like doing laundry or like cleaning up my apartment. It's weird. It's just a weird thing, but it works.
The shoe works every time. I notice if I'm ever in that zone, I don't have shoes or socks on, and I'm like, put them on right now. And you know you're gonna go do that thing. One of the first things I went to that was one of those like self-help kind of like, it was a really good had icebreakers, all that fun stuff. You got to meet a ton of people. The guy who was putting it on had this thing. He started it with, tell me the last time you were in the flow. And it's very similar to what you were talking about here. If you're in that moment with the flow, like describe that feeling. And it's, think about the last time you were on a project that you were in that zone, right? They talk about it in sports and everything else, very much so. You're almost on an autopilot and it's getting done.
Yes.
And I think this feels that same way. There's a energy behind you just pushing you, very similar to this guy on the surfboard. Great choice of design.
I'm trying.
Look at that analogy. I love it. But right, how many times have you had a moment like that recently where without even trying, maybe it was interest or a priority, you were in that flow of something? And
100%. Yep.
Nonstop for a good hour or two.
Redo your entire apartment, like set up my new record player. Like it just goes. Like once you hit it, you just go. And then you're like, oh, I have a hard time stopping. And that's what you want, is to get in that flow. And Christelle is saying in the chat over here, let me toss up the chat. She's saying, I'm really into eat your frog first. I always begin the day with what I dislike the most. And then the rest is just fun. I love that.
That's a good one. That's a great one.
Yep.
Eat the frog. Okay. How many t-shirts are we making from today's episode?
Yes, chat. Make some t-shirts.
Eat the frog.
All right, we got one more thing we want to talk about, and then I want to show you something, chat. And if you want to, actually, let's talk about this. If you want to talk about resetting and cleaning, if you want to learn how to make some content on that, go watch my challenge from yesterday. I did an Adobe Express challenge that showed you how to do a weekend reset video. And we showed you how to cut your clips together, how to add sound effects, how to add music, and how to tell a story to create a nice little TikTok or a reel about your Sunday reset. And it's a video of me cleaning my office. Or if you ever want to see outside of this, you can see the rest of my office on that video over there.
I know. As long as what's in this little square looks great.
Chat.
I'm good.
Nick, what like floor are you on right now?
I'm in the middle floor.
See, I've always thought that Nick's office was like in his attic. And then at one point he moved and I saw the stairs and I was like, you're downstairs right now? Like for years, I did not see those stairs. So chat, if you want to see more of us, you can go do that. Thank you, Wade.
Studio tour.
We should do a studio tour sometime.
Let's do it.
All right. So to recap, in conclusion, Nick, take it away.
All right. This is not about working faster, guys, right? This is the best tip. It's all about working smarter. Hopefully we gave you some great tips to kind of do that as well. Think of these tools and habits as an investment in yourself. So even if there's something that, it might be a monthly membership or something else, or a little bit of extra money, a lot of times this kind of stuff is truly an investment in you, and you're worth it. I always kind of mention that. Don't just set these goals, design the systems that will support them. So is it an app? Is it a great notebook? Bring that into your life so these goals really do happen. And don't let perfection slow you down. I think, like I've learned in the past, perfection doesn't happen in the first round or the first few moments or whatever it might be. So don't let that discourage you if you're not getting it perfect. No one is, right?
Yep.
No one is.
No one is ever.
Hopefully those tips kind of all summed it together into a nice little summary there.
We did it. Thanks, chat.
Hey.
Now we do have a couple of minutes, so I want to do a quick reveal. We got about like 4 minutes left. Chat, this presentation that you saw today, that's right, was created in Adobe Express. Oh, pretty cool, right? And chat, actually, if we want to do this, let's see if this works. I'm just going to click on animation and we're going to glide to animate all. And let's see, boom. Does it work on every slide? Let's see. It doesn't. Hold on. Can I animate all on every slide? Yeah. If I select all these and then go to animation and glide in, let's see what happens, chat.
It needs a second, but look. Oh,
hold on. Did it just do the first slide?
No, it did them all.
I think it just did the first slide. It just did the first slide. But we can click through here and real quick, we can just animate all on these. So animation, animate all. We should have done this, Nick. We should have had some fun little animations for ours. We're just going to glide. And then as you go through these, right, we're doing our presentation. All I need to do is click or hit the arrow, and then it will animate all those pieces in.
Yeah.
Look at that. In just a few seconds.
We are motion professionals.
Boom. Like, it just takes your presentations to a whole nother level in just a few clicks. It's so easy.
And we can do transitions in between.
You can do transitions in between. A little bit of everything. So chat, if you want to level up and have a new year, new you, learn Adobe Express. We can't tell you enough, chat. Like, we started out and we were trying to like, you know, show off the new product. We were trying to like let you know what's going on. Now we're like, why are you not using this? Like, we use this all the time for a lot of things.
What we used to do was crazy complicated. This makes life so easy. I can send him the little notification. He's got it in a heartbeat.
Yep.
It's awesome.
100%. It just popped up right here and it was like, hey, Nick wants to collaborate. And then I also am like, oh, somebody saved my work. Thanks. Thanks to Javiera for saving my work. So I do want to show you something, chat, real quick. And that is, if you noticed, we had this.
Did you pay somebody to do that extra?
No, Nick, I did that in Adobe Express in like literally 20 seconds. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you how I created that real quick. Is I brought in these different shapes, right? And these shapes are brought in from Adobe Illustrator. I literally copied and pasted from something that Nick had made in Illustrator. And what it is we have one of these shapes here. And all I did is it's grouped here, but you can go in, you can go in and we'll see the group is just 3 different shapes, right?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. And I basically took one shape, did an animation of it popping in and then popping out. And I did that on all 3 of those, right? Nice. So I did one here and I changed the timing so that one starts here, right? The next one starts a little bit after and the other one starts a little bit after, right? So they kind of pop in from the back to the front. And then all I needed to do was copy and paste that a whole bunch of times into a grid, right? And as you watch this, you'll see that it actually does like different timing. Literally all that is, chat, is I took the group, I duplicated it, and then I just moved around when that layer timing is, right? And you see that they're all popping in at different times because I just moved these layers around and then added some music by going over here to media, went to audio, found some music, dropped it underneath. And
I didn't know we had some audio. I didn't get to hear that.
We had this. You haven't. You haven't. It's in the Slack that I sent you.
Great.
And then we have this.
Come on.
Boom. Right? And I just looped it back and forth so we can use that. Wade.
Get your heart out today, show.
Wade, your intro is coming back. We got a copyright strike on the music that I sent, so I need to change the music and fix that.
Wade killed it on that one.
Wade killed it. So chat, the Wade intro will be making a comeback. We just need to change out some of the music there. And somebody's saying, I did a New Year's Day animation in Express with sound and countdown to the new year. That's so fun, Ray.
Oh, perfect.
Ray, if you can post that over in our Discord. We would love to see. Oh, I hit the wrong thing. Sorry, I got too excited and went back to the intro. We would love to see it, Ray. Go ahead and put that in our Discord, discord.gg/ACC. And one last thing, Nick, if people want to be a part of a very secret, fun new thing coming to Photoshop. Secret. Right down there. Power got cut off again. See you guys next week on Adobe Office Hours. Thanks for sticking with us. Bye. Oh, I'm so sorry, chat. I'm so sorry. But we'll be back next week. Hopefully less power. Hopefully more power. See you then. Bye.